Hi guys, today I'm going to talk some real talk. And I've been giving a lot of just general advice on how my journey is unfolded. But let's talk about you. Let's talk about the reality of starting a weight loss journey that's going to last. And what I've been seeing in the research I've been doing lately is there's a lot of really great resources out there online. Of course there are. There's a lot of people who have done the thing and want to help other people do it too. And we're all the same. We all start at the same place. We start at a place where we don't know if it's going to last, if this time it's going to work, because we've done it so many other times before. And so once we've done it, we just want to go back and help other people do it too, because we feel like we've unlocked some secret, right? We feel like we've cracked a code. And I'm no different from that. I'm going to be perfectly honest. So as I'm out there and I'm looking at different people who have had significant weight loss and are wanting to help women do the same, there's a very similar approach to most of what I'm seeing. And it really is about your physical methodology. So what are the physical steps you're going to take to lose weight? What is that approach? So it seems to me that most people are taking the approach that worked for them and saying, this worked for me, do this thing, and it will also work for you. And they're not wrong. Because at the end of the day, weight loss is a mathematical equation. It's calories in, calories out. That's what it is. So how you get those calories in is up to you, and everybody does it differently. And also how those calories go out is also up to you. Are you going to eat less calories? So you're reducing your caloric intake that it takes for your body at just a basic level to maintain itself. And once you reduce that, now your body is like, okay, I don't have those calories anymore. Now we're going to start working a little bit, because now we're getting a new maintenance level, and I got to adjust and I got to adapt and I got to release some of this weight so that this works. And so then the weight starts to come off. And of course, how do we release that weight? Through our waist, right? I used to love to get up in the middle of the night and go to the bathroom, because I was like, bye-bye, see you later, see you never. And it made me really happy. So the more water in, the more waste out, all the things. So when you're looking at just solving a mathematical problem, if you are currently, like I was, 300 pounds and it took 4,500 calories a day to maintain that, I don't know, I'm just guessing. I certainly didn't watch my calories, but I ate at least 1,200 calories a meal plus snacks. So I'm just doing the math here, and drinks. So if that's the case, then anything less than that, my body's now at a maintenance level of 300 pounds. Maintenance level is 4,500 calories. If I take 4,500 calories down to 4,000 calories or 3,800 calories, then my body says, oh, okay, we're moving to a different level. I'm going to release weight. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm just telling you the math that makes sense in my head as I'm losing weight. So you do eventually. So in the beginning, right, the bigger you are, the faster the weight comes off. And we all know that. So if you have significant weight to lose and you're dieting with a friend who is maybe 30 pounds, which to them is significant, and that is not a small number to have to lose. And I would venture to say it's much harder at 30 pounds to lose the weight than it is at 300 pounds in the beginning. But what happens is then as you are going down and your caloric intake is also adapting down to keep up with, now you're at a new maintenance level. So now maybe you get to a point where you're at, 220 pounds, and it only takes 2,000 calories to maintain that. Well, then you now need to probably reduce to about 1,500 to start losing weight. And you start to get to a place, right, where this is where I got. And that's where when you're at that 30-pound mark and you're starting to go lower, it gets harder, that you don't have as much wiggle room in terms of just calories in, calories out. So you've got to change the game. You've got to do something different. And everybody's got their own approach to what does that look like. Do I start walking 10,000 steps a day? Do I start working out with a trainer? Well, nobody wants to start putting on that muscle, right? Because you start putting on that muscle, you start putting on pounds, but you're losing fat. So your body composition is changing, but the scale may not be, but your clothes are fitting differently. So you've got different metrics. Now you've got to be getting really close to your goal weight for that to start to be a big deal. Like I'm in that place right now where I am probably 5 pounds outside my ideal weight, but I've been working out a ton. And the clothes that fit me best at that ideal weight are fitting me really, really, really well. And I, in fact, just got into a size of jeans I've never seen, even though I'm about 5 pounds heavier than where my ideal weight lives. But I've been putting on a lot of muscle. And so I'm starting to make a shift in my body because my focus on my body has changed. And so I have to sort of take a different metric of success. These are programs out there right now that are teaching these things, right? They're teaching eat macros, count your protein intake, count your steps, get into this much, it's scientific, this much strength training, this much that. You got to shift your mindset to I am doing this for me. All the things, all good stuff. But what I haven't seen is I haven't seen a lot of people talking about why the weight was there in the first place. Because here's what happens. Even if you don't take an extreme approach to your dieting, everybody wants to lose weight quickly. Fast. The faster, the better. And I'm going to tell you that doesn't work. It does not work in the long run. Now, if you've got a wedding and you want to drop 10 pounds to fit in that dress, and when you're 10 pounds heavier, you're okay with it, but you have this one dress and there's just a little bit of fluff that shows that when you're 10 pounds lighter, it doesn't. We're not talking about that kind of weight loss. This is not for you. We are not your people. I am not your person. Your person exists. I'm not her. I'm not a shredder. Maybe someday, right now, I'm not. I am dealing with more than that, right? It's not that you're trying to lose 10 pounds for a wedding. You are trying to lose 50 pounds by Christmas, and it's November, 11th? Make a wish, 11/11. So what I'm saying is you can do it. You can go from 4,500 calories to 3,000 or even 2,500 overnight. That's still a lot of food. You're not going to feel a ton of deprivation. You just have to change what those foods are, cut out some snacking, maybe skip a meal, and you can get there pretty quickly. And weight is going to start to come off. And then you go to a holiday party, or you go to a football party on the weekend, or whatever, a girls' night out, and you get back to that 4,500, you default, and you put back on 5 pounds, and you're like, what the F? Because you didn't create long-term change in your body, so that your body was like, oh, okay, this was just temporary. Now we're going back. Okay, I know that. I understand that. Let's do that. Nobody's dealing with, we can't take that fast approach. Like, you can. But ultimately, in the long run, it's going to take you longer than a methodical, holistic approach to your weight loss, where you're not only losing weight from a mathematical standpoint, but you're shifting behavioral patterns from an internal, mental, mind, and spirit place. And when you're so focused on the race and getting to the finish line, and you aren't looking at the scenery along the way, and you aren't stopping at the checkpoints, and you aren't grabbing the water, and you aren't taking the break when you need it, and you aren't saying, how am I going to get there? And keep the pace and stay consistent and not give up along the way. How am I going to do that? That's so much training. If you are a marathon runner, you know, or if you've ever been one, or if you know one, you know what it takes to be able to run that 26 miles. You want to talk about a dark night of the soul? My friends who have done it are like, you hit, I forget what mile it is, maybe 17, 18, and you are questioning every life. You are crying. You are so mentally and physically exhausted. You can't go from maybe being a 5K'er to a marathon to 26.1. You can't do it over. You can't just go, this week I did a 5K, I'm going to do a marathon. Maybe there's a very small few out there. But I would venture to say the vast majority are not doing that because they train. I've watched my friends who are running even a half marathon. My daughter was a big half marathoner. The training it took to prepare not only your body, but your mind and your spirit to be able to complete that race and stay in it and get to that finish line and be able to walk away from it is huge. And you can't fast track it. You have to do the work. So that's what I want to just leave you with today, is when you look at your journey, when you look at your long relationship with your body and all the times you've lost the weight and then found yourself right back to that place, did you do the internal work? Did you go into those dark places and ask the questions? Did you focus on creating trust with yourself? Did you focus on getting 1% better every day until you got really good at that? And then you did 1% better on a new focus. Did you do that? Did you look at 80-20? 80% of the time is all I have to do to get really good at this thing. Did you practice forgiveness for the times that you made the mistakes? Did you analyze the moments that you were reaching for the bag of chips half an hour after you ate dinner and say, why? Why am I reaching for that bag of chips? Or you had that tough conversation maybe with a parent and you drove straight to McDonald's, or you poured a drink. Did you look at why you got triggered? Did you do that work? Because that's the work nobody's talking about, and nobody's talking about it because that's where the pain lives, and pain sucks. Nobody wants it, and our bodies don't want it, and we want to protect ourselves from it. It is built into us to do that. So we go into avoidant mode and we look for the quick fix and we say discipline, consistency, mindset, and all of those things are true. But if it was working for you, you wouldn't be watching this video right now. You'd already be on the other side. So where's the disconnect? What haven't you done that needs to be different this time? That's where I work. That's where my shift was. I had to stop shaming myself. I had to stop blaming myself. I had to stop being a victim of my own mind. And that's when I started to be able to just shift and find joy in it. Let the timelines go. I let the speed take care of itself. I just had to show up every day and do the best I could in that moment. That's all I had to do. I had to be present. I had to get uncomfortable. And I just had to say to myself, I can do hard things because I have done so much harder things than this. So much harder. So you can do this. And there are so many great people out there who are going to help you do this from a physical standpoint. I'm going to give you tips that are very practical, but I'm also going to go deep. And if that's the kind of work you're ready to do, keep coming back. Because I am not just talking generalities anymore. We're going deep. We're going into the messy. And that starts today.